Well, hey there, YouTube. This is Mike from the Hardcover Comic, and today we're going to be looking at a book from my favorite publisher, Valiant Comics. One of my favorite groups of characters, Quantum and Woody. We're looking at Deluxe Edition, Volume Number 2, written by James Asmus, Fred Van Lente, art by Tim Seidel, Kano Stieglieber, Perry Perez, and Dave McKeag. Um, Kind of a smaller book. I'm very excited for it though because it's got two tremendous stories in it. As you can see, Archer and Armstrong play a very prominent role in this book, but we'll get into that later. A little bit of damage at the top there. Gotta love Amazon. But Spine is, of course, consistent with the other Valiant books. So basically, this collects Delinquents 1 through 4, Quantum and Woody Must Die 1 through 4, Valiant Size Quantum and Woody number 1, and Unity number 25. Plus, we'll get into it, but if you flip the dust jacket over, there's a board game, and they do include cards and everything. It's pretty cool. 50 US dollars, which is a pretty steep price for the the amount of issues you get here, but they're very good. So let's get the dust jacket off. We'll take a look at the board game and then get into the book itself. Okay, so I didn't actually look into the game too much. I sort of didn't even realize it until I finished reading the book, but this is it. You open up the dust jacket and you get a board game. And there are cards that we'll look through later. I'll just zoom in on some of these and see what's going on here. Woody found out this is the show me state. Now you're getting kicked out for lewd behavior. Draw a Woody card but lose a turn. Let's see what happens in Texas. Everything is bigger in Texas except your chances of winning. Draw an Archer card and lose 2 turns. It just seems like no matter what's happening, you're losing here because it's either jail or something negative. Let's see another Woody one here. South Dakota, where? Oh, this is great. Anyway, let me just put this away. We'll get into the book itself. All right, guys. Sorry, I'm still chuckling about that board game. So you got the silver emboss here, spine, still the same. It is that sort of clothy feeling material. Asterox, I think it's called. Either way. Table of contents. I mean, if you've seen any of my other Valiant overviews, you know what the general style of these books is. So Delinquents 1 through 4, tremendous story. Quantum and Woody Must Die 1 through 4, and then the Valiant Size book as well is amazing. And then Unity number 25. So let's start flipping through this thing. Now, Delinquents is such a great storyline. Basically, there's this company called Mondestano, I believe. It's a weird name, but essentially they work in genetic engineering, and there's this whole storyline about how Armstrong used to be a hobo, and he got this butt map that leads to the Rock Candy Mountain, which is a big utopia for hobos. And basically, Quantum and Woody are hired by Mondestano to find this stuff, and meanwhile, Archer and Armstrong are just sort of trying to find it for the hobo, I don't know, community, I guess you could say. It's hilarious. The two start off fighting, and it's funny. Woody and Archer actually make a joke about it, like, "Why are we fighting?" Oh, it's a gender stereo, not a gender stereo, but a comic stereotype or a team up stereotype, something along those lines. Really funny stuff. I really enjoyed this storyline. I think this was my third or fourth time reading it. It's so much fun. I believe it's Kano on artwork, and he is incredible with what he does storytelling wise. And yeah, there's some good action. Here you got Mr. Meat with the genetically modified bodyguards of Mondestano Corporation. But anyway, it's a really good storyline, and I'm so glad we finally got it collected in an oversized hardcover. And then basically the Valiant Size Quantum and Woody is Woody. It's Woody pitching move some way to get themselves out in a movie or a TV show or something, and then he's giving it all these weird scenarios. Um, it's really funny stuff, and then Quantum and Woody Must Die is basically what it sounds like. Um, they're basically being artwork by, I believe, Steve Lieber, who has done stuff like The Fix and Superior Foes of Spider-Man. But Quantum and Woody Must Die is again another really, really, really funny, action-packed, witty storyline that basically um, starts off with like a French heist, and then Quantum and Woody become popular. There's a psychiatrist trying to kill them. There's a bunch of people coming after them, and they're just sort of stumbling through this thing and making their way through it all. While we're in the middle here, sort of, I'll give you guys a look at the binding real quick. Apologize, the lighting's not great, but Valiant's deluxe binding has definitely gotten better from when they first started. So you can slightly see, you got less gutter loss, and it stays open a lot better than their books used to. But yeah, and then Unity 25 is just, Unity 25. They also include some of those digital web comics that they were doing. And then you've got the board game cards. So let's see what some of these Armstrong cards are. Card number... Go home, you're drunk. Yeah, this is one of those games that I just don't see, ever being able to finish. So yeah, they do have cards for all the characters, and then in the back you've got some sketches. You got a few page progressions here. A little script work. It's great. It's great stuff. It's great Valiant content as always, guys. Sorry I sort of rambled on a bit longer with this. It's a really fun book. A bit on the pricier side, like I mentioned, but if you're a fan of Valiant, if you're a fan of having a good time, if you're a fan of Deadpool, Harley Quinn, but honestly, the best version of those, this is the book for you, Quantum and Woody. Check it out. Thanks for tuning in, guys. This is Mike from the Hardcover Comic. As always, guys, you stay classy.